Excited about this. We've just spoken to a lovely chap from America who's an expert in tomatoes, and earlier we spoke to Tim O'Malley, who's an expert in potatoes. But now we need an overall expert. I don't know, Stephen. We need an expert in, I don't know. What do you reckon, Stephen? Onions. Do you know anyone?
I thought you were going to say Irish bars in Berlin, Matt, but onions will do. But Tim O'Malley is the master of everything, including onions. So I will do my best for you.
Yes, that might be right, but Stephen, but you're also our master in respect of what you do, and we have to ask: Did you frequent the Irish bar last night?
Not at all. No, not at all. We were quite sensible actually. So Tim Elcom, our commercial director, is out this afternoon. So I think tonight will be slightly more exciting, shall we say? Whether we'll end up at the Irish bar or not, I don't know. But a lot of people have said it's been really good this year. So we'll see.
Excellent. Okay, and we're also running a competition, Stephen. One of our contributors has already done 30,000 steps yesterday. So I'm hoping that you did 40,000 steps yesterday, or were you just hovering around a particular stand?
No, because we had our own stand. I did 15,000 max, to be fair,
Wow.
and I've only got little legs, so I was shattered last night, which is probably why we had a sensible one. So that's the beauty of having a stand, that you're not doing the walking around that the majority of people are.
Yeah. Well done. And Stephen, okay, you're very well known within the UK market, but we've also dialed into an international market as well, because they want to learn from us as we want to learn from the likes of the Americans and the South Africans and the Australians. So just introduce yourself. Who are you, and who is the company that you're representing, that you run, please?
Yeah, so my name's Stephen Hedderly, and I'm managing director of a company called Bedfordshire Growers. We're a farming cooperative. We started it in 1963, and our main products that we produce is onions, shallots, scallions, a little bit of beetroot. We do around about 30,000 tonnes of onions a year, predominantly to the supermarket sector, but also to the wholesale market and the food service sector. So we come to Berlin every year, but we're obviously in Berlin this year for a special reason, because one of our varieties that we've bred has been shortlisted for the Innovation Award at Berlin. So we're pretty excited about that, Max.
Well, that's just phenomenal, and the video that you've got of your breeder Alistair, it's so emotional. Is probably a bit jingoistic, but Alistair's put his life and soul into this sector. And if there's one thing that I've always learned from this sector, I remember Richard Diplock, who's a fantastic tomato grower, general manager. He always says that it's taste. If you can get the consumer to taste something, whether it be a tomato, onion, or apple, you got them. You've then got them for life. And so that's what I got from, and we'll tag the Alistair's video on this post. That's what I got from watching that video. That's what Alistair has been going for, this taste. So tell us about this new variety, and tell us about the Innovation Award that you are going to win. Fingers crossed tomorrow.
So basically, emotion is a really good word, and I know Richard Diplock very well, and he's been very kind on his comments on our video. So Alistair started breeding originally Brussels sprouts. Now Alistair, I need to make the point here, isn't a trained breeder. His family actually bred working horses, so the big Shire horses. And he's always said that's where he got his love from. But he went on to start breeding Brussels sprouts. He's always been fascinated by flavour, and he wasn't satisfied that the sprout flavour, this is back in the sort of 70s, 80s, was actually good enough. And so he played around with his own varieties, and he had quite a successful variety called Atwood, which is grown around Bedfordshire still. So in the 80s, Brassica became a popular category in other counties rather than Bedfordshire, so we needed to find another product, and we moved to onions. And Alistair was pretty involved in the first red onion in the UK, which was an Italian variety, which was a really good variety, but it didn't quite have all of the characteristics, especially from a packing perspective. And so he worked on breeding better red onions. And then the trigger point for Alistair was in the early 90s. He went to America to study sweet onion production in the States. And in the States, 20% of all of onions sold are sweet, predominantly browns, and there's some pretty key varieties there called the Dahlia. And so he was kind of really intrigued about this and came back and set himself a target of growing or breeding the first sweet red variety.
Wow.
And he's been doing that for 30 years as well as being a farmer. And his passion, he's mid-80s now, and every day he is out in his breeding tunnel or tasting samples. He's an absolute perfectionist. And we launched the first variety, Sweetheart, about 5 or 6 years ago, and the flavour was really, really good, but he wasn't happy with how it looked cosmetically. And so he worked really hard at trying to produce and rebreed a better version of Sweetheart. And this is where Calypso has come from, Max. And so we launched Calypso last year, and we have got seed across the partners in America, so it's been sold in America. We've exported it to the Middle East.
Wow.
And I thought it would be to try and get some recognition for Alistair's hard work to try and get it in the Innovation Award in Berlin, which is, for me, probably from a produce point of view, the ultimate accolade.
Yeah.
And so I went off to Dusseldorf in October, November, and took samples of Calypso to the judges of the Innovation Award. And then we found out in November that we'd been shortlisted for the award here. And I found out in a meeting with Alistair and his son William, and I will never forget Alistair's face when he realised that he'd been shortlisted. And one of the great things about, for me, Alistair, is this is one man, one grower who is technically competing against, multi-million pound seed houses to try and produce the ultimate variety. So for little old Bedfordshire growers and Calypso to be up against some major seed houses
Yes.
is a pretty special moment. So no, it's been a brilliant show. People have been, really positive about trying Calypso. But there's some really good products in the innovation hall. I'm sure that there will be, a lot of people positive about some of the other products there. So for us just to compete and just to have a product in that innovation area is pretty special.
Yeah. Well said. Well said, Stephen. And from Berlin, and also doing this type of broadcast, what do you want from the network? What do you want from the network from Fruit Logistica? What do you want from our network? How can we assist you to make Calypso a roaring success? How can we help you?
Well, I think the thing with Calypso is obviously we have the English market, but what we really try to get from Berlin is to replicate the partnership where we have in America, where we have a seed bank of Calypso, and so with America we allow them to have free seed for them to initially try the product and see whether it can grow in that corner of the world. And then to set up relationships with obviously American retailers, and our partners in America have done that. They launched last year, and it's been really successful. And what we're trying to do here is to replicate that American relationship with growers in other countries. I think that we have to be grown up about the fact that, look, if a Belgian supermarket wants to sell Calypso, he's not going to want a UK grown product. He's going to want a Belgian grown product. So if we can engage with a Belgian grower, an Italian grower, a Spanish grower, then that's what we'd like to get from Berlin. And to be fair, just yesterday alone, we've had lots of inquiries along that nature. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Stephen, well done. So there we go. If you're a grower in Europe or potentially further overseas, and you want to look at a new variety that seems to be a breed, a variety that's going to create a real difference, as it is in America, contact Stephen. Contact Stephen at Bedfordshire Growers. And Stephen, the other aspect that I really like about what you're doing is that sometimes within UK fresh produce we can be accused of being quite parochial. I suppose in some ways,
Yeah,
look at the name, Bedfordshire Growers, rightly so, because it was just initially honed at growers within Bedfordshire. But look at you now, you're global.
yeah, no, and I think it's it was good, Max, from our point of view. If you come to Berlin and just down the road from me, a Prima Fruit, we've got a good presence, the UK produce industry in Berlin. And I honestly, Max, there are thousands and thousands of people here, and having that opportunity to meet people. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of meeting the Minister of Agriculture from Mauritius. And then we had a meeting with a grower from Tasmania who's interested in growing the sweet. So it is an absolute global stage, an event. And yeah, no, we're just proud to be part of it and having the opportunity to allow so many people to try Calypso. It's a one in a year opportunity, Max.
Stephen, well done. Okay, so look at this post, look at the tags, look at the video of Alistair, and you'll just see. Or what do you reckon, Stephen? You see a true genius at work, and it's great that Stephen, you and your colleagues at Bedfordshire Growers are looking to take that variety out internationally. Stephen, I've got to dare I ask this? What's your favourite fresh produce? Just to wrap up, take us away.
What's my favourite fresh produce item?
Yep.
So I'm not sure whether it's sold anymore. Long time ago, there used to be a fruit available in a major supermarket called an ugly fruit from Jamaica, and it was the most ugliest product you will ever see, but the flavour was amazing. So for me, if I was put on the spot, it would be ugly fruit.
Stephen, you're fantastic. We need more Stephens in the fresh produce sector in the UK and overseas. Well done. Fingers crossed for tomorrow. Hope you get it.